Hi guys, Mr. Bat here and welcome to our third session of Wall Games Club this week. What equipment that we are going to be needing is a tennis racket, a tennis ball and obviously any type of wall. So I'm at different locations today but I'm still got the same or similar wall, okay? So what we are going to do is learn the basics of our forehand shots and our backhand shots, okay? So before we do that, a little recap on what we did the previous session, in our second session last week, is if you guys remembered we were trying to practice our advanced catching and throwing, so we were using 2 tennis balls this time, so improving our coordination, and we're only using one hand to try and catch it, as well as using our reactions to quickly catch both of the balls at once, okay? So something different though today, but as our little warm up, all we're going to do is we're going to put the ball on our racket like this, and then we're going to try and have it to balance like this. How we hold a racket though, guys, is we wrap our hand around like this, preferably at the bottom, and it should create, we should always have a V when we're holding it like this in our grip, okay? This is what it's called in tennis, called a continental grip, okay? So we have to hold it like a V, holding it out like this, not moving our wrist, keeping our wrist nice and still, keeping our arm nice and still, and we're going to try and balance the ball on our racket like this. See if you guys can do that for a minute. So I'm going to have a go doing this for a minute now. This is our warm up, just to practice. So we're going to start now. So I'm going to hold the ball on the strings of the racket, keeping it nice and still. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can start moving your arm, not your wrist, just your arm, left and right. I'll still try and balance the ball on there. If that's too hard, just stand still and try and keep your racket and ball nice and still, just like this. Alright, so I'm going to try and do it left to right, making sure it doesn't obviously drop. About 20 seconds left. And stop there. If you want to do anything a bit more harder than that, you can literally try and sit down. So I'm going to have a go sitting down, and then try and stand back up while still having the ball, or any way you want to do it. Be creative, have a go doing any way you feel that you want to try and balance the ball on your racket. Up to you. So what we are going to do now is, so we balance the ball on our racket, keeping our arm nice and still having a V shape on our grip when holding the racket. So we're going to bounce the ball with one of our hands, so I'm going to bounce the ball with my weak hand, and then I'm going to try and catch it or balance the ball back on my racket. So I'm going to do it again, like this, do it over again, okay? Bounce, and then try and get it to obviously balance on your racket like this, okay? Bounce, then balance. Bounce, then balance. Nice and easy, yeah? So we're going to do that for 1 minute, see how many you can do for 1 minute. If it drops off your racket, it doesn't count as a point, but if it balances like this, that will count as 1 point, alright? So we're going to do that for a minute, as I said, now. So bounce, then we're going to try and balance it. So that's 1 point, bounce and balance. Bounce, balance. Making sure that your wrist is nice and still, you're not moving your wrist, neither your arm, keeping your arm nice and straight, keeping that V shaped when holding the racket. Just trying to learn how to balance the ball on the racket, keeping it nice and controlled. Always using the strings of the racket. I don't want to see anyone using the triangle part, it's cheating. So just using the strings, bouncing it, and trying to catch it on your racket. Trying to make sure it's nice and balanced, nice and controlled on your racket. Couple more. 10 more seconds left, see how many I can do. And we're going to stop there. So we've done our little warm up, so we try to balance the ball on our racket and try to control the ball on our racket with the strings, obviously. What we are going to do now for our main activities, we're going to learn how to hit a forehand shot in tennis, okay? But instead of just bouncing and hitting the ball, we're going to learn the basics of it and we're just going to roll it, okay? So we're going to put the ball on the floor like this. Then we're going to use the outside part of our racket, so the edge of this part. And all we're going to do is we're going to be side on. So I'm right-handed, I'm going to be standing on the right-hand side. And all I'm going to do is lift my racket up like this, keeping my arm and my wrist nice and straight again. And then I'm going to literally roll the ball off the wall. And then just carry on doing exactly the same, alright? So just rolling the ball. It's a little bit hard if you need to. You can bring it back if you have to. Just rolling the ball, getting a feel of how we hit a forehand shot. Being on your toes. Not doing our backhand shots yet. Just rolling the ball, making sure that it obviously tries to hit the ball, so you need to put a little bit of power in it. Okay, so we're going to do that for 1 minute. We're going to roll the ball, lift our stick up, hit the ball with the edge of our tennis racket, and we're going to literally roll the ball off the wall. Okay, so we're going to do that for 1 minute, being on our toes, side on, and going now. As you can see, I'm only using one hand. Bring the ball back. If you feel it's not where you want to hit it, just hit it lightly. You don't have to hit it really hard. Remember, move wherever the ball's going. Move with the ball. Remember, so lifting my racket up, and then swinging to hit the ball. Just keeping on your toes. Only use one hand. And we're going to stop there. So, we've done that for 1 minute, using our forehand. Now we're going to go on the other side and we're going to use our backhand. So backhand's slightly different. So my backhand would be on my left hand side. So instead of obviously swinging, we're going to be swinging on the complete opposite side of my body. So I'll be lifting my racket up, other way, and then I'm going to swing, okay? Lifting it up and then swinging on the opposite direction. So something like this. So I should be facing on the left hand side, like this. Then I'm going to swing, making sure that it hits the edge of my racket with the ball, okay? So something like this. Just using our backhand to start off with. Just moving. See, I'm swinging on the opposite side of my body. It goes all the way up. And we're going to do that for 1 minute, okay? Just using our backhand, okay? Not our forehand this time, just our backhand, okay? Rolling the ball, obviously swinging on the opposite side of our body and trying to hit the ball with the edge of our racket, okay? Still keeping that V grip or that continental grip with our hand at the bottom in a V shape, okay? So something like this, we're going to go for 1 minute, starting from, say, now, so 1 minute with our backhand shots. You can do it slowly, do it a little bit hard if you want to. Make sure that you're on your toes. Remember, swinging it across your body. Remember, side on as well. Wherever the ball's going, we're going to move with the ball. Staying on our toes. stop there. So we rolled the ball both with our forehand and our backhand, and you learn how to obviously hit a forehand shot and a backhand shot now. So we're going to do both, okay? We're going to go forehand and we're going to go backhand, okay? So forehand, and roll it, still rolling the ball, forehand, and then if the ball's coming on the opposite side of us, so if it's coming on my left hand side, I'm obviously going to roll the ball, okay? Obviously going to hit the ball with my backhand, sorry, okay? So something like this, so using both hands now, I mean both shots, so forehand and backhand shot. So going forehand, then backhand, then forehand, then backhand. Constantly moving, going on both sides, right hand side and the left hand side, swinging the racket for 1 minute, okay? So we start for 1 minute, start now, one side to the other side, one side, bring the ball back if it doesn't obviously hit the wall, and other side, forehand, backhand, forehand, and now backhand. Swinging, remember, in the swinging motion. Constantly changing our feet, going side on, both left and right. And stop there. So we've rolled the ball with our left and our right hand now. We obviously know how to hit it or roll the ball with our right and our left hand, or with our forehand and our backhand. So we're going to try and bounce it now, okay? So we're going to bounce it, we're going to hit a forehand shot, then we're going to try and catch it, okay? So I'll do that again, that wasn't very good. So bouncing it, hitting it, then catching it with our hand and with our tennis racket, alright? So watching again, just our forehand shot now. So bounce, hit, bounce, catch, okay? Bounce, hit forehand shot, bounce, catch, okay? If you want to do extra bounces, as you don't feel a bit comfortable enough to still obviously hit the ball yet, you can do 2 or 3 more bounces. If you feel confident enough to do 1 bounce, just do 1 bounce. Or you can let it bounce, and then try and catch it, okay? So remember, that's how it should be going. So bounce, hit, let's bounce again, catch. Bounce, hit, bounce, catch, okay? So it should be 2 bounces, and then we catch it with our hand and with our racket, yeah? With the strings of our racket. Always using our forehand shot those times. So lifting it up, and making sure we get a good connection, so we're swinging with the ball, making sure that the ball obviously touches the strings, okay? So bounce, we're going to do this for 1 minute now, starting from now. So bounce, hit, bounce, catch, bounce, hit, bounce, catch. Doing this for 1 minute. Don't want to hit it too high, want to hit about head level, okay? Head to chest level. Think about, imagine there's a net in front of you, okay? Well, obviously don't want to hit it too low, so hit the net. Remember, bounce, hit, bounce, catch. Bounce, hit, bounce, catch. Bounce, hit, bounce, catch. Bounce, hit, bounce, catch. Nice and easy just to start off with. Moving our body. Remember, we're side on, always side on. If you're right-handed, should be side on the right-hand side. If you're left-handed, should be side on the left-hand side. And we are gonna stop there. So we've done our forehand shot. Now you probably think we're going to use our backhand shot, right? So we're going to do our backhand shot now. Exactly same thing, we're going to let it bounce, we're going to hit it, and then we're going to try and catch it, okay? So let it bounce, hit backhand, then catch, okay? Don't have to do it too hard, then catch, okay? Remember, think about this, there should be a net, yeah? Try and imagine a net, or you can use tape if you want to put on the wall. You get permission to, obviously. Just to think there's a net there, alright? So, we're going to slide on the left hand side, bounce, hit, catch, yeah? We're doing our backhand now, so we should be swinging on the opposite side of our body, getting a good connection as we swing, making sure that it doesn't go too low, and make sure it goes a bit about head level, right? Doing our backhand shots. Starting from doing for 1 minute continuously, so we're going to hit, bounce, hit, bounce, catch, okay? Just like we did with our forehand shots. So side on, bounce, backhand, bounce, catch, okay? Start in a minute now. See how many you can do? Remember, only using our backhand shots, moving up. As you can see, I'm moving my feet on wherever the ball's going to land. Give a dodgy bounce. I'm side on, remember. Remember, catch with your hand and with the racket. Remember, in a swinging motion across our body. Then we're going to try and catch it, okay? Only one bounce. Side on our left hand side. You're hitting with a backhand shot, or if you're left handed, you'll be on the right hand side. And stop there, okay? So, got a couple more minutes left, got 1 more minute left, and then it's nearly over, okay? So we're going to use our right hand, we'll use our forehand, and then we're going to move to our backhand. So, going to let it bounce, forehand, oh, let's do that again. Make sure it hits the wall. So bounce, forehand shot, bounce, catch. Then we're going to go on the left hand side of our body, bounce, forehand shot, bounce, catch, okay? So doing it on both sides now, not just our forehand or our backhand, we're doing both, okay? So, just recap, bounce, hit, forehand, then catch with our racket and our hands, then switch on the other side, doing our backhand shot now, bounce, hit, bounce, catch, okay? Doing that for a minute, starting from now. See how many we can do. Each one that we do successfully, we get 1 point, okay? Must only bounce once. Make sure it goes quite high. Don't want to hit it too low, because we don't want it to hit the net. Remember, I'm moving my body. I'm always side on, I'm never facing forwards. Couple more seconds left, see how many we can do now. And stop there, okay? So, you can carry on if you want to do, or you can stop on wherever you feel that you might want to stop and have a go yourselves. But that is the end of our session today. Hope you enjoyed it. Just a little recap on what we did. We learned the basics of how to balance our ball with our the ball on the racket, as well as making sure how we hold our racket. So we always hold it in a V shape, if you remember, called a continental grip, making sure that our hands are towards the bottom, wrap all the way around the racket, Make sure our wrist is nice and straight, it does not move around, nice and still, and making sure that our arms nice and straight as well. We also practice our forehand shots, so we always lift it, and then we swing. Then we did our backhand shots, which is completely a little bit different. So we would obviously lift on the opposite side of our body, so it would be my left, so I'm right-handed, and then I would swing. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to do another tennis session next week, a bit more advanced. And yeah, well done guys. See you later.